Welcome back to MMA Al Dente. I am the jerk off who picked Chris Duncan to defeat Renato Moicano and a bunch of other shit that I got wrong, like Tabitha Ricci. But anyway, I'm here to recap UFC Fight Night 272 Moicano versus Duncan. Moicano next leveled Chris Duncan. And to be fair, I thought Moicano would be the better man early. And I really think Chris Duncan didn't didn't try to press Moicano. I know he was probably thinking I'll outlast him or whatever, but he didn't do anything to really fatigue Renato Moicano or put his chin to the test, even though he clipped him. But Renato Moicano is the one that clipped Duncan and knocked him down. That was actually how he got the ball rolling there with the finish. And on the ground, Renato Moicano was superior. Frankly, I thought he was superior on the feet, but he was definitely superior on the ground and was way too much for Duncan. He was controlling him, and then eventually in round two, at the end, he closed the show with a finish. But yeah, Renato Moicano is not done in this sport. He's 36, 36 and a half. I didn't like the way he looked against Beneil Dariush. That really wasn't such a good look, but Dariush is a very good fighter when his chin doesn't fail him, and particularly a very strong grappler. And I thought Renato Moicano dropped Dariush in that fight. He looked really good early on, but the physicality and the grappling is what fatigued Renato. And here against Chris Duncan, Renato was in control throughout the whole fight. And when it did turn into a brawl for a brief moment, he was the one that landed the shot and he closed the show with the submission. This is a next level performance. Duncan ran into the next level here, even though he was on a really good winning streak and had a lot of hard battles. But Moicano, he's still alive. I don't think he's going to reach the title or anything. You know, I thought that was a possibility a few years ago. Now I think he's just too far set back and too old. But he can still beat most fighters on the planet, most top fighters, because he is one himself. And his next fight, if it goes according to plan and his callouts, it's going to be a Paddy Pimblett, Benoit Saint Denis, or Brian Ortega or somebody with a little more cachet. That's name recognition than Chris Duncan. And for Chris Duncan, he's battle tested. This wasn't such a battle, but he definitely took an ass kicking. And I think it's good that he wasn't knocked out. That would be a bigger setback physically, but this is still a big professional setback. He's going to have to scratch and claw his way to the main event level again. But again, he's turned corners in the last few years, and I think he's still a great fighter. But so was Renato Moicano, and he was a little better, a lot better. Virna Jandiroba beat Tabitha Ricci. This was pretty one-sided. I thought Virna would get one takedown, and then, you know, the low center of gravity or whatever the fuck I said. I don't know. Judo. Yeah, Virna Jandiroba was just able to out-wrestle Tabitha Ricci and take her down all 3 rounds. Ricci came alive more in the end when she needed to, but that only walked her into another takedown. Great win for Virna. Tabitha Ricci's one of the top fighters, but Virna Jandiroba, this isn't going to secure her rematch with Mackenzie Dern, even though the fight itself might have warranted a rematch. But with a lot of other contenders, Virna Jandiroba got a comfortable victory over Tabitha Ricci here, who's a great fighter, but it wasn't some big Alexa Grasso moment. Great win, though. Virna Jandiroba, she's not exactly a spring chicken, but she can hang with the spring chickens, and she's still surging. And for Tabitha Ricci, she'll be back. This was definitely a cleaner loss than a lot of her other losses, but again, she wasn't finished herself. She still looked tough and was in there in round 3, but the grappling was just too much. Speaking of which, Abdul Rahman Yakyayev was too much for Brendan Shinibiero. This didn't really do much to change either guy's profile. Hibiero is vulnerable, and this is another example of that. It's good that he wasn't knocked out. But Abdul Rahman Yakyayev, He ate a shot, few leg kicks, but this pretty much is him steamrolling another guy he should have steamrolled. I don't know if you'd agree that he looked like a fucking 15-1 favorite or whatever, but the end result is a 3-minute victory. So great job from him. Ethan Ewing closed the show with Rafael Estevam, a round 3 body shot, which was incredible. Ethan was kicking his ass the whole fight. I thought he looked incredible with his takedown defense. He looked like BJ Penn at times. And even when Rafael Estevam got him down, Ethan Ewing was swinging his ass and legs out from underneath and just turned that takedown into a failure. Well, I don't know. Might have not even been close to a takedown. But either way, Ethan Ewing looked really good, really comfortable, composed, and exceptionally skilled on the feet. His hands are phenomenal. He protects himself, even though he still gets hit. Who the fuck doesn't? They're fighting. But his hands mitigated the offense of Estevam, and he beat the shit out of Estevam, bloodied him up, beat him down, and got him thinking too high and went low and got him knocked out in round 3. It was a picture-perfect performance from Ethan Ewing. This was a great follow-up to the Malcolm Wellmaker victory. May not have been as hyped, but Estevam was undefeated, and he got knocked out. Ethan Ewing closed the show with a finish. So altogether, great win for Ethan Ewing, even if Rafael Estevam was coming up from 125. And speaking of which, I wish him luck at 145, where he'll fight next because he missed weight again. But yeah, I don't know what the fuck's going to happen with him. He might be cut after this one loss. He might have won this fight and been cut anyway. But certainly they'll be quick to cut him with some losses or certainly another weight miss. So he's walking a fucking tightrope. Tommy McMillan beat Manolo Zucchini. Speaking of which, I make great zucchini patties. I mean, they are phenomenal. But Zucchini brought it to him. I thought this was a fun fight. It was a little 4-minute war. I thought they both landed good shots, but McMillan had height and reach and was a little more aggressive and dangerous. Zucchini seemed composed until he didn't have a choice. I think McMillan really put his foot on the gas at some point shortly before the finish and said, "We're going for it." And he went for it, and he got him out of there with a knee to the body, even though he was fucking him up with a lot of knees to the head and punches to the head. Excellent win for McMillan. He definitely looked really fun. I can't say he looked perfect, and I do think he's not going to be able to fight this fight with a lot of other featherweights, but against Manolo Zucchini, he was able to, and he walked away with a bonus and a first-round win. And for Zucchini, that's 2 losses now, body shots. He might not be around in the UFC, although he just came back from a 3-year layoff. So who knows? I don't know why that's relevant. All right, let's move on. Jose Mauro Delano beat Robert Ruchala, or Ruhala, as I said for some reason. And I thought this was a clean victory for him, even without the fence grab, the point deduction. I thought he was a little bit ahead of Ruchala. I thought the first round was close, but I thought Jose landed the better strikes. He just looked really good, and he made good on that throughout all 15 minutes, all of his promise. He was a step ahead of Robert Ruchala, and I thought he walked away with a just 30-27 decision, 30-26, I guess. Thomas Peterson beat Guilherme Pat, majority decision. I've got to attribute this to Thomas Peterson's experience and his power in wrestling, of course, and Guilherme Pat's inexperience. This guy, he's definitely skilled and dangerous and impressive physically, but he doesn't move well. He doesn't circle. He doesn't move laterally. And he doesn't move too much to begin with. And I thought Thomas Peterson was able to corner him and pin him against the cage. And he had a lot of success doing that in the first few rounds. But then in round 3, he did that and clipped him with a big shot. And down went Pat for at least the second time in his career. I've seen every fight I can get my hands on. He's never been finished, but he's been knocked down twice. And here, I think with a different fighter, he might have recovered. But Thomas Peterson got on top of him and smashed him at first, but then held him there with his wrestling. Peterson was trapping him in half guard, threatening with different subs, and of course hitting him. But Guilherme Pat didn't do much to work his way out of there. I think Thomas Peterson just had him, and Peterson never secured the mount, I don't think, but he definitely did enough to get a 10-8 round because he knocked him down in like the first 30 seconds. So great win for Peterson. No matter how you scored the fight, you'd have to admit Peterson got the better of him. I scored at 29-27 for Peterson anyway, but you've got to attribute it to that round 3 effort. Awesome victory. Alessandro Costa got another body shot finish over Stuart Nickel. Stuart Nickel, this is the first time he's been TKO'd, but he's definitely got, I didn't like the way he looked body shot wise against Lucas Hosha. And here Costa was mixing it up. He was stronger and sharper, just physically stronger, whereas Stuart Nickel didn't have any grappling options. They were shucked off with ease, his takedowns. And on the feet, Costa was just the more impressive guy. He hit harder and hit faster, and his sharp striking won him the fight. Stuart Nickel's never been finished by strikes until now. So he might be gone, but Alessandro Costa, he's here to stay. He stays afloat in the UFC, and this was a really impressive win. Darius Flowers got Lando Venata out of there. You can kind of call this a body finish. He slammed him, and Lando was fucked up. I hope he's okay. He was screaming, and he was wincing and definitely in visible agony. But Darius Flowers looked really good here. On the feet, Lando was trying to get grooving, and then he ended up catching a kick. And Darius Flowers off of his back, he's underrated. He threatened Lando. I think he put the fear into him of grappling, because I'm sure Lando had it in his head to grapple. And Darius Flowers showed there's more than meets the eye, threatened him, got back up, and I thought took over with some good old-fashioned physicality. That slam, that's something he does. And he drove his shoulder into Lando Venata's body on the slam and took him out pretty much. Although Lando lived to survive till round 2, and then he kind of just got like pushed over and then fucking finished. But they're still calling it a slam on Sherdog here. Regardless, the slam is what did him in. Darius Flowers, he doesn't have the prettiest record, but his back was against the wall here. Even if Lando's coming off a 3-year layoff and yada yada, Flowers coming off a 2-year layoff, and he was the better man here. Got a highlight, got a UFC win, and he stays afloat. Alice Pereira, or Alice as I like to call her, knocked out Haley Cowan. I thought Pereira was in control of this fight. I'm fucking tired. I thought Pereira was in control of this fight early. She looked phenomenal, and I thought Haley Cowan was never going to be able to battle her way in, even though she had more experience and yada yada. And then in round 2, Haley Cowan looked sharper. She was better on the feet in the first few moments, and then hit her with a beautiful double leg. Just scooped her up and planted her like nothing, and controlled her. Alice Pereira didn't handle that so well on the ground. She wasn't doing much there, much effectively, and you'll hear me mention that next time probably. But Haley Cowan wasn't able to do much herself. She wasn't able to threaten Alice. She kept her there, and she definitely would have won the round if not with 36 seconds left. Alice Pereira clipped her with the biggest knee in female MMA history. I don't know. It's one of them. But she hit her with a step-in knee right on the chin, and Haley Cowan went out cold. So a phenomenal victory for Alice Pereira, and a devastating blow for my heart, because, again, she's my girlfriend, Haley Cowan. But she's probably out of the UFC, which sucks. But Alice Pereira, she's here to stay, and she's got highlights. She's got a highlight here for the ages. This is the best highlight of her career anyway, and it's the best win of her career at the same time. Speaking of which, Trayshawn Gore got the best win of his career, a round three guillotine, technical sub because Bakoyev didn't tap, but it's still the same thing nonetheless. He's got a guillotine from hell. He can get it deep into round three, in round two, or in round one. He's gotten it in each round. And he, forget the guillotine, even if he won a decision, this would have been the best win of his career. Not just the name Bakoyev, but the way Trayshawn Gore won the fight. I thought he was definitely doing well early, but in round two, I thought he was done. I knew he was done. He got clipped with a big shot and hit with some other big shots with his arms pinned and getting just Bakoyev throwing his whole body into it and jacking him on the chin. And Trayshawn Gore, he survived, and when he got up, he threw back. I don't think he had many other options at that point, but he said, hey, the firefight is the only way out. And he probably knows on some level it's a firefight he should lose, even though he's got a lot of firepower. But he clipped Bakoyev. I thought he put some fear into him, battled his way back into the fight. He got taken down again and yada, yada. But I thought in general, he was the last man standing. Even if it went the distance, he would have won because he looked so much better in round three. And he looked good in round one as well. But Trayshawn Gore was a step and a half ahead of Bakoyev in round three, took it to him, and then closed the show in the final minute and 33 seconds with his signature move. It's got to be called that at this point. It's not quite Walter Walker's heel hook, but Trayshawn's guillotine it's something every opponent of his from now on is going to think about, even if they haven't already, which they probably have. But Trayshawn Gore, he may not have the prettiest record, and he may not reach the heights that he promised to reach in his post-fight interview when his adrenaline was surging. But this was a phenomenal moment in this guy's career and life. He looked awesome. And for Bakoyev, another round three loss. He got stopped by Bulgari. And here, this was a much more winnable fight, especially after round two, and he let it slip away. So his profile's definitely changed. And who knows what he's got next in the UFC, if anything at all. Diani Barbosa beat Melissa Gatto by majority decision. I thought this was close. I thought each round was kind of competitive, but I did score each round for Diani Barbosa. I did think she looked sharper on the feet, which I had completely fucking backwards. And I thought Diani Barbosa was better on the ground, stronger physically, even though they both had moments. And speaking of which, I thought she had better moments as well. I thought her armbar was the closest anybody came to finishing the fight, unless you count soccer kicks to the fucking face. And yeah, the soccer kick, I don't know where it landed, but I know it landed. Even if, no, it shows it landed right here on the fucking, I watched the replay in slow-mo from behind. You could see her jaw torquing to the right. You could see her jaw getting cracked there. So it's like, it doesn't matter where it landed. It was an illegal strike and she was fucked up. Having said that, she was trying to milk it. Yeah, you're not wrong if that's what you were thinking. It's what I was thinking. It's what Paul Felder and Bisping were thinking. It's what Aljamain Sterling was thinking. It's what everyone was thinking. She was not that hurt there. Sure, she wasn't as hurt as she was making it out to be. She looked like she was unconscious. It looked like Macy Barber, just fucking sprawled out the week before. That's exactly what it looked like, but she knew. She processed it instantly. Oh, that's fucking illegal. Let me go down. And she went down. I don't want to shit on her too much because once the acting wore off and nobody bought it and they were going, you got 5 minutes or whatever, and we will resume, or it's a no contest, whatever the fuck they said to her, she got back in there and fought. And I thought she started fighting better, actually landed a few good takedowns on Barbosa. But Barbosa, I still thought, got the better of her, mixing it up, getting on top more, and again, the better armbar between the two, even though they both had arm bars and Kimuras and all kinds of shit. Great battle. Shitty way to win for Barbosa. Shitty foul, I should say, but definitely a legitimate victory. And Kai Kamaka beat Dakota Hope in a win that might age very well. I don't know. Dakota Hope, this was kind of similar to his other loss, where he still showed traits and skills, even though he was tired. He was more visibly tired in his first loss. He was really tired in the middle of that fight. But here, Kai Kamaka was taking it to him, and I thought Dakota Hope showed grit and heart and cardio, trying to make it happen in round 3. He was throwing hard, but Kai Kamaka was just the sharper striker. He was better once that athleticism wore off. Kai Kamaka was outstriking him. I thought really leading things with the leg kicks, but altogether he was just the sharper guy. And Dakota Hope had his speed had fallen off drastically after round 1 and his power. But in round 1, he definitely won it by taking it to Kai. He didn't drop him or anything, but he tried to overwhelm him and definitely fucked. Overall, an excellent win and return for Kai Kamaka III. And for Dakota Hope, he showed some good traits in a loss here. I like the way he looked fighting back, but Kai Kamaka was too much. Like, share, subscribe, all that horse shit, and check out my other videos.